Alright, hello YouTube, Handheld Guru 97 back here again today. So today I decided I would show you guys my Atari Lynx collection, which is all concealed in this handy dandy little carrying case here. So the Atari Lynx, for those of you who don't know, was a handheld gaming system, obviously, that came out in 1989 with the Model 1. It was originally the first competitor for the Nintendo Game Boy. However, compared to the Game Boy in terms of specs, it was way more powerful. It was 16-bit, full color, backlit, handheld, and it was pretty impressive considering that Nintendo, at that time, they had not yet released their Super Nintendo, and only Sega had gotten out their 16-bit Genesis, or Mega Drive, for those of you in Europe and other parts of the world. So it's a pretty cool handheld. It's pretty large. I have the Model 2, which was released in 1991 as a redesign to help alien sales and to compete against the then newly released Sega Game Gear. So I'll just show off some of my accessories, the handheld, and all the games. So this little carrying case is actually pretty cool. It's pretty large, actually, so it's not exactly little, but it holds the Lynx and about, I've heard 24 games. I don't believe that, because this has only about 6 games in here. As you can see, it's bulging. This only has 2. So I have 8 games, but it's a pretty effective case. Got your Lynx logo up there. Over here you could put your COM links back in the day, or codes, which I have here for Electro Cop. I'll show you that in a minute. For stuff. Pretty nice little handy pouch there. Then you could carry it around something like this, put it on your wrist, or whatever. Or if you didn't want to carry it, you could, let me just let it focus here for a second, loop this through your belt and walk around town wearing a handheld the size of a small cat. Okay, let me get the games out. Don't want to spend too much time on this. Gotta get over everything. Oh, whoops, that's just one game. Whoops. Here's the second one. Okay. Let's get the handheld out. And manual, go over there. All my games are loose, excluding one, which is Warbirds. It only has the manual. I did not get the box with that. Wait, did I actually get... what's going on here? I'm missing some games for some reason. Okay, everything's out. Okay, let's put that over there. So here's the Lynx itself. It's a pretty large handheld. Let me get my game here, actually. Just set me down there. Start my wall for a second. Back. So here is the Game Boy and Game Gear. I'll compare the two. Game Gear and Lynx are a bit more comparable. Still need to do a comparison video between the two. So, bit longer, like teeny bit longer. If you had the Model 1, it's way longer. But in terms of sheer size, it's quite a bit thicker. In fact, I should take off this sun visor. I'll talk about that here in just a sec. As you can see, it's a pretty fat little handheld once you look behind it, and then Game Boy just completely dominates. Huge difference between the two. Now the sun visor here is a little accessory that back in the day, if you took, let's say, your Game Boy here outside, you could play it under direct sunlight, you could still see the screen. I mean, it wasn't backlit, it wasn't full color, you could see things if you were outside. But if you took, let's say, your Game Gear or Lynx, you couldn't. The screen being backlit canceled it out. I mean, they didn't have that. I mean, this was the first one. I mean, the first full-color handheld, so it's going to have some issues. So you couldn't see it, right? You couldn't see your screen. So Atari invented this, and what you do is prop it up, and there you go. You can play outside. Kind of a unique accessory for the time. You don't see it on any other handhelds. But since this thing's now kind of a retro handheld and all that stuff, not sure if you want to take this outside. I mean, it runs on 6 AA batteries, so kind of an issue taking it outside nowadays, but pretty cool little feature. Both of these accessories I wouldn't have gotten had they not come with this, but they came with it, so yeah. Now let's go over the cartridges. There were 3 cartridge styles. I need to do a re-review on this handheld because my first review was not in HD. So cartridge styles are flat, ridged, and curved. Now, the thing with flat carts is, on the original Lynx, cartridges went in like here and they were really hard to pull out in flat. So while they were easy to stack, they were kind of nice and convenient. That way you could store them away quite easy. You couldn't pull it out. So comes the ridge cart. You can pull it in great, and put it in, pull it out easy. But you couldn't stack these things at all. I mean, I only have one. Can't imagine having two of them in my case. So the final design, curved lip. Every game is available in this style. Often most common to find launch titles in this style. As a collector, I personally like getting the I'm going to try and get at least 2 of the launch titles in flat. At least 2 or 3 of them in flat, and then at like the minimum 2 of them in here. Because ridged is the rarest to find. Flats, it's pretty common, but the most common, of course, is the final design. Okay, let's go over the games real quick, and I won't keep you much longer. I'll just do some games and then do a little bit of gameplay if I can. So let's do this. Okay. So up first, Electro Cop. Electro Cop is a 3D maze-like game, very similar to another Lynx game called Zybots. Originally designed by Epix, originally intended to be the 3rd Mission Impossible game. Ended up on the Lynx as Electro Cop, though. It's not a bad game, but I really don't like it that much. It's kind of hard to get through. It's hard to understand, and that's why you saw my thing. I have the codes for it. That's the codes to open doors in this game, but it's kind of unique game. Has amazing graphics, especially for 1989. It's pretty fun, but I haven't played Zybots yet. I really want to. So as soon as I get that, I'll be able to compare the two and see which one's better. But if you're gonna get a Lynx, this is not one of the titles I'd highly recommend, but it's a cool little game if you want a little meatier game for the Lynx. So I'd give that about a 7 out of 10. And one of my personal favorites is California Games. Now, you've probably seen this on the NES, Commodore 64, just about anywhere really. You see it, Wii, Virtual Console, wherever. It was the bundled game with the Lynx. Phenomenal. It's so fun. There's 4 games: BMX, surfing, skateboarding, and footbag. Very, very fun little game. I'd give that a 9.5 out of 10. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Now on to my other 6. Stun Runner. This was an arcade port by Atari, released in 1991. The graphics, again, are phenomenal for the age period it came out in. It's awesome. It's very fun. It's very much like Wipeout and F-Zero. Wipeout, again, by Sony, and F-Zero by Nintendo, obviously. It's really hard. There's a time limit, and it's a really short time limit, but it's so fun. It's very addictive. Highly recommend this one. I'd give this an 8.5 out of 10 easily. Up next is a Tetris clone by the name of Clax. Again, an arcade port. Very highly addictive, just like every other Tetris clone in the existence of the universe. The thing is, you play the Lynx like this. You play it sideways. And like the Lynx itself, it's ambidextrous, so you can play it like this. I prefer playing it like this. It starts out like this, so you have to switch it. Very, very fun game. Highly, highly recommend this one. I would easily give this a 9 out of 10. Todd's Adventures in Slime World. This is a Atari Lynx and Sega Genesis game. I've heard the Lynx version's better. I only have the Lynx version, as you can see here. Do not have the Genesis version. But this is very fun. I mean, it's made by Epix, not by Atari. So, again, as you see, Epix made a lot of games for this because originally this was their console. I won't go into the history there much, but if you want to look up other reviews that talk about that, do so. This is really fun. I think this is one of the last Epix games ever released by them, period. But it's a pretty cool platformer. I mean, if you're looking for a game with length and depth, this is a good platformer. I could give it easily about an 8 out of 10. I haven't played too much of it, but from what I've played, it's pretty cool. It also has an awesome in-game like tutorial that you have to kind of scroll over to get to, but it explains the game really well, like a digital manual from 1990. Is that 1990? Yeah, it's crazy. Pretty cool. Definitely check that one out if you're looking for a Lynx exclusive, if you don't have a Genesis at least. Now this one is solely a Lynx exclusive, never released anywhere else. Warbirds. This game is awesome. It's a first-person dogfighting World War I game. I mean, there's the manual over here. This is actually one of the only color manuals for the Atari Lynx, which makes no sense, but it is. Oops, too close, too close. Pretty cool. I've heard this would, back in the day, it was great for multiplayer. Obviously, I only have the one Lynx and only have one game. But that's what you get for playing awesome games that were awesome at multiplayer in the future. So, pretty cool game. I did a review of this. If you want to check that out, go over to my channel. I have a review for this. I believe I gave it an 8 out of 10, maybe 8.5. Can't remember. I haven't watched it in a while. Love this game. Definitely one of the must-get games, the Lynx. One of my personal favorites here, again, is Paperboy. I love this game. I got this when I got my Lynx a few months ago. Love this game. It is like a job simulator of being a paperboy, literally. Paperboy also made a camo in Wreck-It Ralph, for those of you who've seen it. Oh, so awesome. It's just very addictive. Definitely check this out if you're getting a Lynx. I actually watched the video and actually played like the emulator version of the Game Boy version. And oh my god, this version is so much better. Can't believe I'm saying that, Nintendo, but I'm sorry. I love you, but the Lynx one-upped you, although Paperboy 2 is not available for the Lynx. Last but not least, Pinball Jam. This is pretty awesome. It's got 2 pinball tables, Elvra and the Party Monsters, and Police Force. Doesn't say it on the cartridge, but I was pretending like it did. I don't really memorize them. They're both pretty addictive tables. It's a good game if you're starting out with the Lynx and you want to get a game that will have some meat on the bones that can keep you interested for a while before you get your next games. I didn't get any more Lynx games after like February of this year until literally like a month ago. So, I mean, not even a month, like 2 weeks. So, and this game was the only thing that really kept me coming back to my Lynx besides, where is it? California Games and Warbirds. So, very fun game. Paperboy I'd give a 9 out of 10, sorry, didn't rate that one. And this I'd give it an 8. So, there's my Lynx collection. Make a nice little scene here that hopefully will be captured. It's the screen pick. There. Okay, perfect. So there's my Lynx collection. It's not very big, not very small either. My favorite games, because I can't individually pick one, probably have to be California Games, Paperboy, Stun Runner. I'm loving that game. I haven't played a lot of it, but it's pretty awesome. So California Games, Paperboy, Stun Runner, all pretty good. Backups, of course, are Pinball Jam. Love that game. Warbirds. Clax is phenomenal. Tons of Interest in Slime World. I need to play more of that, but it's a good game. They're all good games. Lynx is well known by many as not having a lot of bad games. I mean, you have got Kung Fu and Tournament Cyberball, and then the port of Double Dragon 2. Then there are a few others that have been acclaimed poorly, but there's a lot of really good Lynx games out there. You can easily avoid the bad ones if you know what you're looking for. If you know what you're looking for, you can easily build up a sizable collection of Lynx games. There's only about, I'm going to say, 60 to 70 Lynx games out there, so I mean, you can have a sizable collection. It's fantastic for arcade ports, like I said. I mean, Clax, Stun Runner, Paperboy, even Pinball. I mean, that's the only pinball game on the system, but still. In terms of exclusives, though, it's severely lacking. I mean, Slime World you can get on the Genesis, even though it's probably inferior from what I've heard. Electro Cop, it's a decent exclusive, but it's not overly good. California Games is on every system. Pinball Jam, you could go play the real pinball tables. Clax, Arcade, Stun Runner, there's other versions, but I've heard the Lynx version is definitive. The best version, home version ever, from what I've heard, really. There's not that many, though. Which is kind of the problem you run into with the Lynx. But it's got some really good games. I mean, I love all my games I own. Except for Electro Cop, but it's an alright game. I didn't give it like a 1, I gave it a 7. That's not a bad game, it's just a good game. Not good, but not bad either. It's not fantastic, or it's not bad. That's how it is. So, I've talked long enough. I think you guys might want to see some gameplay. I want to show you what game can I play with one hand. Stun Runner. The first level, at least. Might show you some Clax. I want to show you some Clax. I want to show you how this game plays. Because there's not that many videos of it playing like this, because, well, it's really ridiculously hard to do it like this. So we'll zoom in here. it on? Yes, it is. Now I like switching the viewing angle. Like that. Just a bit easier. This has some speech in it.
Clack wave.
Clacks wave 1. Again, playing through viewfinder. So you're supposed to line them up something like that. Drop it with either A or B. You can line them up and just try. Oh, there we go. You can hold up to 5 these little tiles at a time. Sound effects are actually pretty good. I mean, you've got speech. It's pretty nice. I've got like 5 claxes. Sorry if the viewing's bad, I was just looking. Oh, this is hurting my hand, but... And that's how it works, basically. Don't think you need to see much more. That's what happens when one falls. Turn off! Oh, it makes nice little sound effects. Alright, button. There we go. Okay. Don't want to keep holding here for long, so we'll just move to Stun Runner next. Game, again, these graphics are pretty awesome for a handheld in the 90s. Starting up. Might have to change that. Perfect. It's actually pretty good quality for this thing. Actually, hang on. I want to show you something, guys, real quick. Okay. $19.91 again. Gives you a little summary of the game. If you want to pause right now and read this, you can. Doesn't stay around long enough for me to read it to you. And then winners don't do drugs. Wanted to show you guys that, just to let you know about that. This is... See? Has some speech. Oops. This is like literally the only level I can show you where I can use one hand.
Good luck.
Now you hear that little That signifies I'm almost out of time. I got 3 seconds left. So there's that time limit right there. I mean, you'll literally finish with like a 1/10 of a second left on most of these levels. That's what makes it so addictive. You're like, well, can I outdo myself? Okay. Press escape to fire lasers. Now this is where I just sort of I'll drive the A button. See? Speaks to you. I mean, Tiger Gamecom got nothing on this. Pretty nice, actually. Quite honestly, I swear that even though only like 10 games use this, the speech on this is like 1,000,000 times better than the Tiger Gamecom. Million. Victory. Like... And... off. That's how it works. Let's put those two back. Zoom out, and I'll give you my final thoughts, and I'll let you guys go. So there's my Lynx collection. I like it. Love the Atari Lynx. One of my favorite handhelds I've ever owned. Easily my favorite. I think currently it's just edging past the Neo Geo Pocket Color as my favorite non-Nintendo handheld. It's just very addictive. There's so many good games for it. I mean, I'm not even done. I still need to get like Joust, Robotron 2084, Road Blasters, Hydra, Zybots, Steel Talons. It's like 6. Chips Challenge, Gates of Zendikon, Blue Lightning. Oh, what else is there that I should still get for this? No, I'm forgetting at least. There's so many games for it. I mean, I can't even think straight of how many I still need to get. It's a fantastic handheld, YouTube. If you're looking for a good quality arcade, portable arcade basically, with awesome Atari games and a pinball game and California games, this is the best to get. I mean, if you're looking, period, if you hate Nintendo and you want a retro, non-Nintendo handheld, not so sure about the Sega Game Gear because they break easily, Neo Geo Pocket Color or the Lynx. Quite honestly, there's about 20 more games on the Lynx than there is on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. So, and it just depends. You like fighting games or arcade games? Take your pick. So, I love them both, but I still can't pick which one I prefer more. But there it is again, YouTube, my handheld game collection for my Atari Lynx. I'll probably update this video as soon as I have at least half of those 10 games I just listed. So, YouTube, I'll see y'all later. Peace.